Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Pro Evolution Soccer 2020 video with your host SpoonyPizzas. Today I'm just going to show off my control scheme and why I choose the custom layout. I mean, the first thing I would say is choose the scheme that suits you. But there are some changes that I would make, possibly if you're making a mistake with certain buttons. But we'll go into it anyway. So I use custom. So let me just show you my layout. So my dash is my R2, my special controls is R1, player switch is L2, manual controls is L1, through ball is triangle, lofted pass is square, shoot is circle, X is low pass. Then moving on to the defensive aspects side of things, triangles goalkeeper running towards the ball, square for sliding tackle, circle for comms teammate pressure, so basically applying a secondary press, and then X for pressure. So let me go through this. So the reason I've got special controls as R1 is because obviously with R2 on your controller it would actually take longer to push it down than R1. So for dash it doesn't matter, you know, with dash you don't use it, well you do use it quite often, but there's no sort of it's not like you need an immediate input, whereas special controls for skills you need that immediate input. So that's why it's selected to my R1, because it's just a quick click. It's that's the main reason I use R1 for my special controls. It's quicker to sort of activate. Again, the reason I swapped these two around is because L1 manual controls, as you know, I like my manual shooting. Again, it needs to be responsive, it needs to be immediate. That's why I switched the manual controls to L1. With player select, you could argue that, you know, you need a quick selection there, but I usually end up using the right stick for cursor change anyway. Through ball's pretty much the same as everyone else. I swapped these two around, lofted pass and shoot, and I will explain that in 2014 PES was really bad. So I moved over to FIFA, and I can't remember if you couldn't change the controls in FIFA, or I can't remember what the reason was. So basically I got used to being O as shoot, so that's kind of how I got stuck around with these two. Now if I go on to my defensive side of things, I'm just going to explain here. So I've got square for sliding tackle and circle for secondary press, and this is really important, that your shoot button is not the same as your slide tackle button. And the reason for that is because, like I say so often, whenever there's a cross into your box, just press shoot to clear. I see so many people try and pass it out, and yes, you can get away with it, but I think in PES 2020 it's going to be a lot more painful. The amount of people try to play it out, and I just intercept the ball and I just tap it in the, you know, tap it into the goal. You know, that is not the way to play. Yeah, sure, you can get lucky 9 times, might get lucky 9 times out of 10, maybe 8 times out of 10. You might be able to play it out, but there's going to be always that chance that you're gonna make a mistake and give it to your opposition. So yeah, let me explain this anyway. So like I say, press shoot to clear when there's a cross coming in, and obviously if you had your slide tackle the same as your shoot button, what's going to happen if someone uses super cancel and cuts inside you, or they get the ball before you, you're going to press shoot to clear, and all of a sudden if your circle is your slide tackle button or the same as your shoot button, you're going to foul them in the penalty area. And I've seen that a few times, and I think some people do actually struggle with that. So I would recommend changing your slide tackle to the opposite button. Might take some adjusting and getting used to, but that's my thoughts on that. Anyway, that's pretty much it in terms of my controls. Here's my settings. So I know a lot of people ask. So the cursor change is semi-assist. We have pass support level 1. A lot of people say I should go manual. I do like manual as well, but I have my reasons for going PA1. Just the fact that it takes the stats into consideration. And this year, do you know what? It's probably actually better to use manual, because I find that the pass support level 1 can go all over the place. It feels still a bit too assistive for my liking. Like I said in my demo review, I've passed this on to Adam Batty and the Konami team. Pass support level 1 does seem a bit assisted. They just need to tone it down. You should have to apply more power, which would slow the game down as well a little bit more than it already is. Basic through ball, yeah, I really don't like the advance. I've tried that so many times. It just seems to be like really overpowered for me. Some people are really good at it, but I'm not. That's probably my one weakness. Shot type, again, I have used manual in the past, but I use basic, but I use a mix of manual and basic in the past. What I really love about this year is with the manual shooting, you can actually miss. I've actually managed to, normally in previous PES versions, you would just be able to, if I was on basic and I had, say a right-footed player, but he's going to strike it with his left foot, and his left foot accuracy is horrendous, or you've got a defender and you think, oh my god, this guy's just not going to be able to hit the target. I used to hold the L1 button, go into manual shooting, and you'd know it go on target. But in PES 2020, I've absolutely ballooned some out of the stadium. I had one go quite close to the corner flag, so that was really good to see. So you can't just abuse the manual shot type. So manual is actually might be actually quite a feasible option to use this year. But I'm gonna probably stick to basic. The reason I'd like that is because it takes everything into account. The player's shot accuracy and all the rest of it. And also with manual, I always found that I was just blasting the ball. I never even bothered to use the finesse shot, because you didn't need to. You could just literally power it past the goalkeeper, and as long as it was on goal, generally in the penalty box, the keeper had no chance of saving it, even if it was quite close to him. So that's why I prefer the basic. So that's I get loads of people questioning why I use basic and not advanced and manual. The reason I don't use advanced is because you used to be able to sort of abuse it in PES 2018, PES 2019. You used to be able to just pull back on the stick, and that meant the ball would never go over the bar, and that wasn't just for me. So auto fit on, as you probably well know that I use auto fit on because it's more responsive, and the controls make more sense in terms of the skills you want to perform. So the way I would say auto feint works is your right stick is your feinting direction, and then your left stick is the actual way you want to move, and it just makes a lot of sense, especially if you're new to the skills in PES and you're struggling. I'd recommend switching auto feint on, but for me it just feels more responsive than having auto feint off, sorry. So there's less input you need to do some of the skills. Sometimes it's easier to do skills with the auto feint off. There's some certain skills that are easier to do, but generally I think auto feint on for me works best. Auto sliding, I leave this on semi-auto just cause. And teammates control assisted, but sometimes I quite like the manual. The only thing I like about the reason I like assisted is because your teammates just with assisted, you just flick it and your teammates will run forward, whereas with manual you get full control over your teammate. I will do a tutorial on this for PES 2020 and show you how that works, but assisted for me is better, although for me the teammate controls is kind of broken since PES 2019, and I think I know why, because what happens is after, I don't know, 20 minutes into the game, if you try to hold your player select and flick your analog stick to set a teammate on a run, what will happen is your teammate will try and make a run, but he'll be jogging instead of sprinting, so it actually slows everything down. So there's no benefit to using that whatsoever, and I think a lot of people, me included, in PES 2018 used to abuse it. You used to be able to keep sending players on runs all over the field, and then just if you're really good at timing it, you'd be like through on goal with a really quick player every single time. So they definitely had to do something there, especially from the competitive standpoint, where where they've got esports events, etc., because otherwise you'd just be spamming teammate controls and you know, spamming L1 triangle or L2 triangle, depending on your control setup. So that's pretty much it, ladies and gents. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you got any questions, drop a comment below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers. Bye bye.